I'm taking inventory of my miniatures coming up after this. I was gonna break this up into many videos and do like hauls and sorts, and I'm still going to do that, I guess, because there's a lot here. But this video, I guess, is just gonna be me taking a look at the situation that I'm in. I'm minimalizing my whole real life right now, but I have to minimize the amount of diorama items I have too. This isn't it either. Like, besides all these boxes that I showed you, these are the top two room floors that I have. And then there's this wall, and I'm intending this wall to be the main furniture wall because I'm going to start making furniture and putting it on here. And then in my own life, I still have to connect these shelves. That means I have to replace all of those shelves with ones that match these ones. They're just slightly different. They're slightly narrower. And I do have curtains for these, so I need to do new curtain adjustments. You can follow me on my vlog channel if you want to see the progress in that minimalization. But we're working on this right now, and because I have been slowly minimizing, I do have some beans here, which I think I already know what I... Oh, no, I don't know. There's so many things that want to split up. I'm starting to use these cardboard boxes because I am running out of plastic totes, but I am hopefully going to get more plastic totes. Okay. It's so overwhelming, I don't know where to start. Oh, it's even going to be a haul. Some of the latest miniatures that I found at thrift stores that I really like are these two cubes. And then I found these. Wait, there's three of them. Because I just dropped one somewhere. I don't know where I dropped it. Oh, right here. You have to be really careful with scale. It can look really funny if you get the wrong scale. I mean, you could... I won't get into that. You can, like, make things off scale on purpose and make them kind of look cool. But I don't know if these will work, but I bought them anyway. They were messages in a bottle. They had the corks on them. They had little scrolls inside of them and stuff. But I think they can work as oversized, like, vases that kind of look Greek. That's the kind of thing I'm going for, I guess. Ornate, but simple and plain. And it's funny about these cork things. Totally my element, as you can see, all wood and natural cotton and white, and that's the kind of stuff that I like. But when you stick the corks in the little jars, and you all know the little jars, the smaller little ones you can get from the dollar store, once you put the corks in, they're kind of recognizable, and I don't know, it kind of takes away from the realism of the dioramas. I like antique stuff, so that's the kind of thing I go for now. This kind of looks Indian. Like, I don't know if this is from maybe it's an Indian tea ceremony kind of thing. I don't know why there's two different teapots in the set. But, I mean, they kind of have that Greek feel to them, so maybe they could work. But mostly I like to do turn of the century pioneer. That's kind of my aesthetic. That's what I like. But some built-in castle elements like moldings and stuff. Here's a standard teapot. Now, I did turn the chain around. This chain was hanging from the top of the lid. I think it's for tea. I think you're supposed to put loose tea in this. But like I said, I changed the chain around so that it looked more like a knob than having this thing was coming out of the top of the lid. But I don't even know how that's supposed to connect around your teacup handle to do it. But anyway, it's a pretty cool little miniature, and it came with a tray too. But I can use the tray separately. I tend to use gold, though. Maybe not. It depends on the room. Anyway, it was too good to pass up. I think it was only $1 or $2. So that's great. There's this little thing. So white enamel and white porcelain and white pottery is something that I really like. I don't know what this was originally for. I don't necessarily, I could hide the handle, but it's kind of cool. It could be a bedpan too. Uh, I just like it. It's a little white porcelain miniature. All of my dishes are white, and that's what I prefer too. The dollar store rug. Oh, that's cool. Um, Kind of a weird pattern. What do I have? I don't have it. I have a giant rug over there that I like to use that looks really great that I bought from the dollar store, and I put it in the bottom of my room. This a friend sent me. I don't like this pattern on the chair. Maybe I could try replacing the pattern because it is a pretty nice little sun chair, simple. I could also use it as a guide to make my own. Like I said, I do want to make more furniture, and I could put a natural cotton thing, but I'd probably make it longer and maybe thinner. I don't know. It's the right dimensions and could be great for some poolside pictures. I have to do this. Yeah, I have this idea because, like I said, I have natural. I like all natural elements. But there's all these little figures and little things, and I think I'm going to start a box with this right now. Actually, oh, the silicone pack, the silica pack opened in here. I also use these. I've never seen one open before, though. I like to put those into the little jars that I was talking about, and they look like lentils or something. But, okay. I like to display my toys on my wall, but I think sometimes, what if I was a pioneer? What would I collect? What if I collected, if I was born in the 1800s, what kind of toys would I have? And then I think about all these little figures, and I would display those on a shelf, and it would look so nice. So just all the different sizes, and that's what I'm thinking about doing, a toy room made of all wood little unpainted figures. And my stuff, if you've seen some of my other dioramas videos that I do, I don't like to paint my stuff. So I keep the natural wood, but you could paint. I'm gonna hold on to this. I gotta be careful with that and put that into the little jars that I have hidden. Okay, so I'm gonna start one of these bins of all of the little tiny, oh look, here's some more figures that I've gotten. So I'm just gonna open up them right now. These were from the Dollarama in Canada. So other little people, these are little girl figures. I just think mixing and matching, putting them on the shelf would look so cool, considering that's how I live my life. But sometimes I wish that all of my toys were made out of wood. Okay, and then there's these little peg people, so I guess there was man versions, and I loved that. So I picked up some of these. I'm just throwing those into the bin. And sometimes I think I just use one or two of these, and then I end up with all of them. Like I just take one of these, and one of these, and one of these, and then you can put them on the shelf to look different. Also spools. I love spools anyway, but when you find the miniature ones and then putting them up next to the people, it could be columns. Like they would be perfect columns for a mini diorama's diorama, which I love columns. I have just found some. Maybe we'll get to that part in the video. I've showed these in hauls before. Am I ever going to do a Mickey room? I think this would be a really cool bedspread to put in a Mickey room. And I am, because I have little Mickey figures. And those are from the Dollar Tree. You can pick those up. I also wanted to know which ones I have, because there are other ones. I just love this artwork anyway. It's really cute. But putting that on a bed would look super cute, and then add figures. So I want to do a room. These I don't know if I'll ever open. Thrift, how can I call this, vintage 1999 hangers from Barbie in different colors. I don't know if I like that. Oh, and they're also in different styles. All of my hangers are all wooden hangers, and they're all in the same style, and they're antique. That's what I like. Oh, so I found a new version of these bottles. Oh, and they were also at Dollarama. Am I going to put... I think I'm going to put all of my little glass jars. Change positions. And all of my little wooden figures in the same bin for now, at least. Don't do that at home, kids. Because that way I can group them together. However, like I said with the corks, I might have to get over myself. And this is a different shape, though, so it looks different. Like, I would love a bottle if this is the right scale. Sometimes these don't scale properly, is kind of my problem with it. But if this was a nice big cork, yeah, I probably have to... It is a miniature. I have to accept it. Like, normally I would take away the lid so these wouldn't be as recognizable, but these ones aren't recognizable because this is like a different shape than we're used to getting. So I don't know. And then also the corks fall off when I put them into the basket, but I guess that's okay because it would be easy for me to reach in here and source out the right little jar and my right little wooden thing. I think for now I will keep those together. I might have more little wooden things and more little glass jars than I know I do. Here is another new size that I found. I hope I didn't break these. And because I don't have scissors here, oh no. These, I thought, I don't know what I'd use them for. I just think that they're so cool and they could be something really interesting, a science lab or something, even though they're so ridiculously long. They were just too cool, you know, the natural wood with the cork and then the glass. They're just elements that I like, so those are something that I picked up recently. Little army figures in white to put on the shelf. That would look so good with my clean, minimal aesthetic where you have just all of the figures are different on the shelf, but they're white. That would be a whole other room. What is this, too? It's like an Egyptian army. Come on. And Sudan. Wow. That's, those are just so obscure and really cool, and I thought they would look so cool on the wall, just as white on wood. Baby room stuff, I gotta incorporate them in somehow. I think they're screen cleaners, but I think that they would look cute somehow incorporated as baby cozies. You could sit babies on them as chairs or blankets. That's why I picked those up. I have to put my soft goods all together in one thing. Here's a little miniature figure. I guess I didn't know what to do with him, and I thought I would probably do a Halloween room, and I didn't. Okay, let's go over here. These panels. I have lots of these panels. I don't know what to do with them. I should probably show you these things. I found these at Walmart in a clearance aisle. I tried to make them work. Do I glue these on? I don't think I like them. I think that I should like them, but I tend maybe, I don't know. I experimented by putting the scene from, I think, a calendar in here and, you know, to put outside a window, but I mean, to look like it's outside a window, but I don't know. I think if I'm going to do a flat picture like this, it has to be blurry, or I have to take out the panels completely altogether. And then it seems like I have to put in plastic or glass, because there's not. But I think you have to offset the background. I don't have room on my shelves to do that. I'm thinking about cutting out one of my large, oh man, I don't have everything to show you. One of my large versions of these, which I make my walls with, and cut out the wood. So I guess by drilling and then sawing it out. I don't know. I don't have the right tools to work with mini wood like that, but I guess I could pick up a Dremel or something. Maybe I'll hold on to these. I don't know. I think I'd rather create my own window frames that are in less of an East Coast modern kind of look, even though I might want to do that someday. But I tend to really like the turn of the century pioneer houses and looks. I have two new versions of these. I think I got these at the Dollar Tree. I already had some, but these are real life colors. I think I have pink ones. And can I take the sticker off? Oh, it's coming off good. Yeah, so in my neighborhood, we have green and blue for recycling and garbage. So I thought that that was perfect to reflect, more realistic. I think they're pink, and I might have a different color green one, but I wanted them to match. But outside yard, exactly the same as my real life, and I thought that was cool to reflect that. These Dollar Tree chairs, I wish I would have paid more attention to them. Sometimes I go to the Dollar Tree and I say, okay, do I want to buy this junk, or do I want to save up my money and buy something that's really, really nice? This chair actually is really nice. However, it doesn't stay together very well. But there's also these little nibs on here that I don't like, but I probably could clip those off with a pair of fingernail clippers even, or pliers of some sort. They're pretty nice chairs, and they're in white, and I'm glad I bought them. I wish I would have bought the whole chair set, the Parisian chair set, but the style of the, I think, of the stools wasn't so nice. Here, these are pretty nice. Would want to replace the top or paint it. I don't know about painting plastic. These are dusty. That shows how long that these boxes have existed. Yeah, you can't. I bought these early summer, and then I had extra ones. I don't know if those are for a friend, or yeah, I think I bought two for me and two for a friend of mine. So I better separate those. Cauldrons. I had those in here to do a Halloween room, I guess, but, and now it's March again. I think I bought these last time this year when they were celebrating St. Patrick's Day for the pot of gold, but I really wanted them for Halloween. They're nice cauldrons. They came in a pack of 5. I don't need this many. But I just need one, really. But they're surprisingly cool and realistic, and it's also my jam. In my room, I have just wrought iron and wood, so they fit in really nice with what I like. So there's lots of those, which I don't need that many of them. Before Hot Wheels Skate even existed, I bought this. I wouldn't have bought it now, but it is cool that they have the little skateboards and they have the different little ramps and stuff there. But I love Hot Wheels Skate. They're what I really love. And then I was going to do a Spirit ride? Spirit Untamed. Oh, I guess that's the new cartoon series on Netflix. But I was going to make a Spirit room and put these in there. I guess I have to do that. Would you watch me make a Spirit room? They're cute little figures. And then, oh yeah, and these I was going to do a Halloween room. And I was going to put these Halloween animals because they're in orange and black. So that's why the cauldrons are in here. Oh. Valentine's Day, it just passed. And then I had these mini skateboards. I guess I'm going to have to save them for next year. And then after I found and bought these ones, they came out with an 8-pack for the same price because it's from the Dollar Tree. But they're really cool. But, I mean, I don't know. I guess I wanted to open up something for Valentine's Day new. And I thought that would be cute in a room for Slate, maybe. But, okay, so a lot of that, I don't know, and I'm making such a mess here. The whole point of this was for me to clean it up and put it into the bins that exist. Oh yeah, that was going to be what I was going to use for the other bin. I was going to fill it up with the miniature toys. So ideally I should open these, but I'm going to open them when I do the Spirit room. Do you want to see me do more diorama rooms? Is that something you would like to see? So I think I am going to keep all of the little figures like that in here. And then I do have more, I think, here. I don't even know what to do with this stuff. I guess I have to get rid of these. I guess I could put this in my costume box. I can't do a toy review with these hands on. That was a dollar store dino Christmas gift opening video. But I think, oh yes, I'm right. Oh yeah, these things, I opened these in one of my last dioramas. I was just going to use these as, oh no, I'm talking too long. This is going to be another long video. I was going to use these as little pillows for a kid's room. Wait, did I have, oh, should I put, do they count as soft goods? Pillow. I'm going to put them with the soft goods for now. The dinosaurs. Okay. More little figures and animals and toys for my dolls to play with, action figures, 12-inch action figures to play with. Oh yeah, these dinosaurs would look great again with the natural wood and these dinosaurs. Yeah, I did that video. That was the same video. So all the little animals and toys for my toys. Shelf figures I can put in there. And then these ones I do want to, those are for dioramas too, to make like this sophisticated kids room where they have dinosaurs all over the walls. And they're wooden and they're magnet, and I do have some metal walls too, so I do have to figure out where they're going to go. I don't know if this counts for miniatures, but it's something that I didn't open up. Would you like to watch me make these dinosaurs in a video? Maybe we can have some kind of low-key, fun creation craft time videos. Do I save the instructions? I kind of like these. I might actually put these in my binder of toy pamphlets, toy propaganda. Yeah, I think I am going to save these because I just like the pictures. The pictures actually looked nicer. They looked cuter and stockier than the actual dinosaurs. So anyway, a dinosaur room. I mean, I can work that in together. Use these on the walls. Put these ones out on display. Could have some cute dinosaur rooms because I do have a lot of dinosaur toys. Baby blankets. Okay, I'll put that in. You know this goes into the soft goods section, which, hey, since we're here, two bins of soft goods for blankets, and I mean, there's even some rugs over here, so that's kind of, and then we have the soft good pillows here, a big section of that. Again, I'm gonna have to do that in many different videos. I have to find out where I'm gonna put these panels. I have all of these panels that I keep here. Do I need all of the panels for changing different rooms and stuff? Yes, I kind of do. Let's go in here. Okay, so with miniatures, you always have miniatures. And I can never have too many of these. These are from a Dollar Tree, and they're a great staple. They're great for when I want to separate tiny little mini things, but also keep them together so that they're easier to access. In this case, I think that these things are a little bigger, so I don't have to like put all of the little girls into one. I mean, you wouldn't fit very many in these anyway. And also, they look realistic. They look like totes that your minifigures actually have with their stuff in it. So I love these. I'm going to have to put them into here for now. And I also have a couple boxes up there that fit these in perfectly. But I have filled up all of the ones that I have. So I decided to get more of them. This is more of a 10-inch kind of. Wait, there's something on here. I thought I cleaned this. I did clean this. Why is there something red on here? From here. I thought I cleaned this, but I did clean this. I know I did. I don't know what that red paint on there is. More for 10-inch doll, under 12-inch dolls, more like Slate size, Cave Club, and Chelsea. It's kind of too small for Barbie, but sometimes I do kid size rooms or rooms for Slate. Castle Grayskull. miniatures came in that. That was so great to have. I don't know what to do with that. I guess I could put those in the toy box, because I do like to use Snake Mountain and Castle Grayskull all the time. Minifigures came in there, and they're exactly, look, there's my Castle Grayskull up there. They're exactly the same scale for Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain. So I think that's awesome that I had those. I have many of them because they were minis. Here's a guitar. I have to figure out where to put that. It's from a doll. I guess I have to put that. Here's an extra Thrifted Ken head. Oh, here's something that I picked up, and then I want to show you my favorite box. So that's going to be an upcoming video. Obviously, this one is already too long. But some of this stuff I haven't even hauled yet. So, but they are my favorite. They're my favorites. So you can see that everything kind of does have the same tone and everything. And I didn't really have a bin, but some of it's from Dollar Tree, like barrels, and some of it's thrifted and looks really old, antique-y, and some of it's like oversized stuff, but I still like use it for props. And like this would have been some kind of spindle, but now it's a giant industrial spindle. Anyway, these frames are going to go in here. So here's one that I adjusted. This is how it came in the store, and I went, oh, those are nice. They're slightly different colors, unfortunately, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. And then it worked out perfect. So I don't know why they put this 90s artwork in this Victorian hanger, or oh, no, really. Guess I shouldn't have done it like that. Anyway, I discovered that I don't want to use this, and I usually don't even like to put pictures in my picture frames. I kind of just like to, oh no. This one did not come off as well as the other one, but should I do it now? Oh yeah, now I do it. Anyway, I just ripped this off the back. It's a metal frame, and I don't know why I'm doing it right here, right now, like this. Anyway, this one came off super clean, and it's going into my favorite turn-of-the-century box, and I'm so happy to have it. I'll probably just lean it on the wall and not put anything in it, but there's always that option to put a picture behind it. And I don't know why this isn't coming off as nicely as the other one, but I will have to contend with that later. And then I haven't washed those, so I want to kind of wash them. Little extra Masters of the Universe pieces that I have. That's an alternate head on a vehicle. And these benches I like to use sometimes in my dioramas. And then I have Barbie vans and just Mattel Hot Wheels cars that say Barbie and Uno and Masters of the Universe and all my favorites on it. And then there's some kind of hair and dust on this, because these bins have been sitting around. I don't know what this Fisher-Price Little People marshmallow toasting. This is not something I would use for dioramas, but maybe I would. Could be cute for Slate. I have to put that. I think that fell in here. Anyway, I love these benches, and then this ladder from Castle Grayskull. This stuff does work in my dioramas sometimes. So I think that has to go in its own separate category. I also think that the special Hot Wheels that I use, I think that they have to. Oh yeah. There's also weapons in here too, because you never know when Barbie needs a machine gun, right? A laser machine gun. Yeah, I keep these ones that are so suitable for dioramas. We'll have to keep those Hot Wheels together. I mean, all Hot Wheels really are. They just look like bigger scale cars that the 12-inch figures are playing with. Okay, what else do I have going on here? I think I actually cleared out of those boxes, so that's good that I did all of that. these I've talked about a few years ago. I haven't done it. I used to give them to slate and make a bed. I have beds that fit these perfectly, and I have so many. I use them as mattresses, and I love the texture of them, and they're quilted, and they look like mattresses. And I have so many different patterns, and I collected every single one I could get at the dollar store, but I haven't been using them. I haven't been doing slate rooms, but I think I will do some more slate rooms. And the bed really isn't the scale, but it is a better scale for a 11-inch doll or under. But for Barbie, I don't know. And I am going to be making a bed out of wood. Probably I'll use popsicle sticks. But I don't know if to scale down, because, your rooms can't be as big, your beds can't be as big, and you get the same impression, and you can kind of fake it in the photographs. So I don't know. What is your thought on that? Should I make the bed to scale, and then I don't know how I'm going to fit it into my tiny floor plan. It'll take up the whole room. But however, that happens in real life sometimes. Okay. Talk about making my other. I'm not going to reach it right now. I talk about making it all the time. I have these boxes. I have so many of these boxes. I take off these, I take off the hinges, I join a couple together, and look, I have different kinds. I have ones with glass doors, I love these ones with the mesh doors. And hopefully, I'm going to make another cabinet like this. So I take these things up, I glue these together, and then I make it, and then I even take off the hinges, because the hinges are not acceptable on the outside like this. So should I bring down the other one? I guess I can reach it since I'm here. This one. See, it puts a crack into the side going all the way around, but I would rather have that than see the hinges, because in real life furniture doesn't have hinges on the outside like that. So that is something that I want to do, but I also want to make kitchen cabinets with these. These are great overhead kitchen cabinets. And then look how many of these I have. I bought every one I could find, and I want to make here's the ones that I have ready to glue together. But I want to make an island, and is that stuff in here? Oh yeah, they're right here. And I think that this will work perfect for a countertop for that, so I'm going to do a whole kitchen setup, probably by doing this. Oh, it appears I've already made these ones are glued together. I've already started making the kitchen cabinets. So I think I don't know if I would I don't think I'd put all together. I'd probably do one, look, and then I have the closed door version. I think that's probably good for the bottom cabinets. And so the hinges work and everything. I would split it up like this. I could also put a dishwasher in, or save a space for a dishwasher. But I have to glue these all together so that they can stay. Like, I kind of like to have the option of like having the stuff and have it in the convertible, but I only paid $1.25 for each of these boxes, so it wasn't that expensive. But I do want to do a counter and then put these up above, and then have a whole awesome kitchen setup for when I need one. I will make these as separate pieces of furniture that I move into a room and take out, so it doesn't have to be a kitchen all the time. And maybe one day I'll make all of these shelves. Maybe I can get rid of so many things that I have that I don't need them, and then every top floor, so I don't have to bend over taking pictures and stuff with my back, can be a different room going all the way across. However, I talked about this in my last video, where I do want to do more dimensional. I love that Little Tyke's house where you can have perspective and you can see from one room into another room. But you kind of have to put that on a big table, or put it on the floor, because otherwise you're not going to have that space, and I don't really have that space, and I guess I'm happy with it being contained, but I would love to have that perspective where you can look from one room into another room, the doorways and the archways, and at least I know that I have so many things to create for the future, so you can look forward to more and more upgrading and more intricate as it goes along, even though I have to say that I am a minimalist and I like to keep things minimal. So we're not done yet. Oh, here's some examples. Here's some examples of the little mini things that I keep in here. Now, see, here's a different sized little people that I put in here. I'm going to put those into the bin together. You can do that now. These little signs on MDF. That's cool. These little wooden people, I mean, it kind of looks like old-fashioned toys. So putting those on a shelf would be great for me. Little mini clothespins, kind of at a scale, these things, but they still work. Little metal letters that I have. These little buttons, I don't even know what I'm going to do with these little buttons, but sometimes I collect these things, and sometimes it's cute to have overscaled, like I said, stuff. You can also use buttons as plates and stuff like that if you cover up the holes on top. But yeah, sometimes it's just fun to take pictures of dolls with oversized things. And then, what else do I have? Oh, more, a different size of spools. So I'm going to throw those in there for my little figures. And then, I don't know, letters to put into display from Scrabble that look in black and white. They look cool on the shelf. This is a bin of stuff that I have to sort. Oh, here's another tiny little spools. Now these are all almost so small that they look like they could work. So I'm just going to put all those little things, I think lining them all up on a shelf. And here, let me give you an example. Just displaying one of each and do a variety. I have apples around here somewhere of different sizes, of the different figures. And oh, come on. I was looking for the little girl in the dress. Oh yeah. So I just think displaying, doing a little vignette of these things on the shelf, like doing shelves and shelves of them too, would look so cute. You could group them together and put differences. So I'm excited about that. Little wooden beads and stuff. I don't even know. I think I was going to make hangers out of these, but I think I have better hangers. I don't even know what those are for. Oh, these would look so cool on the shelf. Little wooden barrels. And then these beads. I don't know. I guess I've already started a basket. I've even put this on a shelf, and I thought it looked really cool. So an old-fashioned clothespin, it just looked really cool standing on the shelf. What is it? What is it supposed to be? Kind of looks like a, I don't know, some kind of antique doll sculpture. I loved it. So sometimes you can't experiment with things that you don't even know what they are. I have to figure this out, though. I have to figure out what's good. You can see there's all kinds of other little wood things. I guess this box I can use as oversized wood things, or wood things that I don't know what I'm using them for. And this I can use for the miniatures that I know are as is to go on a shelf. And let's see what else is going on here. I know I have more. Oh yeah. I bought firewood. Is it too late? No, it's still really cold. I still have the furnace going, but I made sure that you could get these in different sizes, but I made sure that I found ones that were really tiny. And there's some birch trees in there, like, come on, stacking those by the fireplace. so good. I have a couple different fireplaces. Oh, I just found this one. I've been waiting to find this forever, and I finally found that. And let me show you something else that I like to find, that I'm so happy that I found. These pillars. And people always say, oh, when I do a thrift haul of miniatures that I found, they said, I don't have very good things at my thrift stores. And I don't have very good things at my thrift stores either, though. But you have to go all the time, and you have to go frequently, and you have to like say no to things. Like, I've found many other columns like this before, but they just weren't right. Like, the amount of detail that would have been on them wasn't the right scale, and I held out and I didn't settle, and I finally found, I have it in 2 sizes. I wish I found more. I can't dig out the other one. I have a taller one and this one, and then sometimes I like to put like this other, I don't know why I'm oversaturated, but this dollar store garden figurine. Put this on top of this, and then, I mean, come on, it's perfection. It's exactly what I was waiting for. So go frequently, go all the time, and you have to look through everything, and those are the tricks. And 80% of the time I go to thrift stores, I don't find anything, but every once in a while you find that magical item. Everybody's got good thrift stores, you just gotta go. These buckets. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take out these acorns. See, these acorns now aren't the right scale, but to me this is like a figurine, and I think that would look so good on the shelf. Oh, I want to save my silica pack. So, still going to make chairs out of these. I think, yeah, I'm gonna I'll make them out of popsicle sticks or other little wooden pieces that I have. These apples. Those are so cool. So happy to find these. I liked finding the ones that were actually distressed, even though those are the ones that people would leave behind. That's probably the only reason this was the last bag that was left. And when you see something at the Dollar Tree, even if it's out of season, like if it's really early, like right now, if you find stuff, if they're just putting out stuff for Easter, say, grab it. Because I saw these apples and said, I'll come back and get those later. And then I went back, and then they were gone. Oh, that's going into my basket. These buckets, I love these so much. They're at the Dollar Tree. I love using them for garbage cans. I use these buckets for garbage cans in my real life, so it's really cool to have them in doll form doing that. Okay, something else that I wanted to do before. This is stuff that I might minimize. I have found better pottery than I like. I think out of all of these things, I don't like blue. I mean, I can turn these around and show the back side of them where you can't see the blue, but I think we better stick to my natural stuff. This one is made so nicely that I will keep that, but I don't think these ones are my style, so I have to be more selective and not just be excited that I found something that's perfect. Like, this is a perfect scale. It's also, you know what, I might actually like this, because I like that it's off-white, and so maybe that's not applicable. Some of these are darker white. Some of them are more of an off-white. Okay, so maybe it's not applicable without the plastic coating on. But normally, this isn't something I would personally want in my home. And then I do like to avoid more Asian-inspired things. I mean, there was a time in my life that I loved that Asian look, but sometimes the Asian stuff is more of a reproduction of the Victorian period, and I would rather have stuff that didn't look like a reproduction and looked more Victorian. And this jug is definitely one of my favorite pieces. And this is such a nice handcrafted, even though it's in green, but it definitely would mix well with the green. Yeah, those are 2 pieces that I definitely would have to keep. So I do really have to think about and be very selective about the porcelain figures that I'm going to keep, But when you find little whole teapot sets and stuff, you have to buy them, and little tiny miniatures. And you might have seen my Wade mini China figurines, which I love, and they're in the right color. I just did a video on the animal collection, so those are great for miniatures. But what I was looking for here was the glass stuff. I didn't even pull this stuff out. I mean, I guess it's going to have to be in a different video, where these are my largest scale. These can look great. Paintings, you got to find small ones, and they look great. And then I have these Victorian. Well, that one's not so much Victorian, but some of them are. So these look amazing. But then there's stuff like this that I bought that's more modern, that could totally work for maybe Cave Club. But I think I do like to stick with my old-timey stuff. So that's where these things come into question. Do I want to do another Valentine's Day room and put love written on the wall? This is my eraser collection of miniatures, eraser dinosaurs. But sometimes you do want to put these funny, cute little words on a shelf, especially if you're doing a Valentine's Day room. This was from a Valentine's Day video, I don't know, a couple of years ago. Little telephone done in eraser form. That's kind of awesome. There's all kinds of great miniatures, more cartoony, but I got some good cute miniatures and stuff here. What I was looking for while I was doing that was I was looking for all of my glass stuff to put together. I think I overestimated. Here you can see that's what I do with the silica gel pellets, and they can come, sometimes they're brown and sometimes they're clear, and they look great in the jars. And then sometimes I think these ones look realistic, but sometimes when the lids are too big, that's that scale thing again. But I think I'm getting over myself, and that I will accept. I actually think because these ones are short, that the lids actually look like old-fashioned mason jars, and they look real. That's also something that I collect. That's the corks. And then when I find them in amber, I love that. Yeah, they just look so good by themselves. I have to get over it that everybody can have these. And because the corks are old-fashioned, the bottles are old-fashioned, they look great. Is there an example? Oh yeah. This, I thought, was a bad example because it's too big in real life. I don't know, sometimes there's pasta jars that have lids like that, though. So, I guess it's acceptable. Yeah. I don't know. And then I have these plastic ones. So if I want to do a store or a more modern room, which is going to happen, I have the bamboo stuff for bamboo shelves, and that stuff doesn't really fit into my antique period, but it does work very well with this modern stuff. So all these little plastic containers, and then sometimes this is an example. Maybe this is out of scale because it's too big, but it would make a great vase. We have Tupperware for the food and stuff. This is something that I haven't even used. I was going to do a garage scene, a modern garage, and I saw some of these today actually at the dollar store when I was there, and I thought they were so awesome because they look like those giant totes that you keep in your garage. The giant ones that you can also put on the back of your truck and stuff. So I thought these were so cool to do a modern room because it's real life. And paper bags, I love those. So I guess I have less of these glass jars than I thought. I know I have more of them though, so I have to figure out what goes together. Anyway, that's what we have. At least I made a video, and I also forced myself another hour video on miniatures. Why not? But I'm glad that I forced myself to open and take the stuff out of those boxes that were just sitting around on my floor and actually put them in these bins. But I do have to go through each one of these bins and really, really think about, do I want those things? Is it something that I'm going to spend the time on? Is it an upcoming project that I'm going to do? Oh, there's... I gotta save it for another day, though, guys. I mean, big fish pillow. Can that actually be a thing? Is the scale out of that? I've used these as orange chairs in a room. They actually looked really cool. Squishy oranges, but they look cool. Leaf bathtubs. I mean, see, this is crazy out of scale stuff that sometimes doesn't work, but you put this all in a room together and then you have this fun, crazy toy room for kids. And I don't know, there's a lot of crazy stuff here. The luggage, that was great. I don't even understand. These are little mini things that were at the dollar store, and they look identical to hard case luggage, but they're just tackle boxes. I talked about them as videos. These little bags and stuff for going on trips, for slate, and I don't know. Making sofas out of pencil cases is something that I've done, and they look amazing. This cactus pillowcase, you put it in the right frame. Definitely check out my Instagram and my other videos. I don't know if I said goodbye and this is the extra footage or not, but anyway, like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. I wonder if this is me doing another last part of the video, because I always do like this little extra bonus ending to my videos. I might have already said this might be a double extra ending, or it's not. But we really do have to go through all of these things. I can't have all of this. Look, there's 2 bins of vegetation. I get some of this Christmas. You can see, I love those cactuses in the cement pots. Look at this little container of miniatures. I've got little figures and stuff in there. Game pieces from games work great as little miniatures and stuff. I gotta clean this mess up now, guys. Oh, God. We haven't even scratched the surface.